The shit I make is timeless and I'm constantly reminded. From here on out, it's only pluses and it's never minus. Until they see me on their timeline, they never mind it. Everybody on it now, they want to get behind it. Still great even after when I close my eyelids.
Welcome to the IKECONIC Podcast, where seeing is believing and dreaming is achieving. Today we have my brother from another mother, my former teammate, Lorenzo Harrison. How you doing, bro?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
No problem, bro. How you living? How's everything going with you?
Everything's going pretty well. Just working, adjusting to life after.
How has life after football been for you?
Honestly, it's been a little rough, honestly.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't the smoothest transition, but working now and stuff. Trying to find other things I like to do. Didn't have much time growing up to, I guess, figure out other things I would like. So doing that now.
I feel that. So what are some things that you learned from football that you feel like are now transitioning into your real life?
Well, I say a lot of times I talk to people, I say the biggest thing is being prompt.
Time management type. Yeah, 100%.
Being where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there goes a long way. Learned that the hard way in college. But I'm glad I learned that lesson. I feel like a lot of people take that for granted, just urgency, like it like just lackadaisical, not have they don't have really any push to get them places. Like, you need to be here at 3:00.
I feel that.
And they're like, I'll be there about 3:30. So it just wasn't a thing for us. So just being on time is something I took with me from college.
I feel that. Yeah, I definitely feel like football helped me be prompt. I feel like once I finished football, though, I reversed. I went the other way. I'd be late as hell sometimes, but I'm trying to do better. So hopefully for 2022, I can get back to my football ways where I'm on. Because I should punish myself, because when we was late, they definitely had something for us to do.
Something.
So 100%. So hopefully moving forward, I can improve that. But enough of the professional shit. Let's get to the nitty gritty, man. Who you got winning the national championship this year and why? What team? Who are your top four? Who's going to be the top four that's in the college football playoffs?
Georgia will be one.
Georgia.
Cincinnati will handle business and stay at 2.
Damn.
I like Michigan to handle business this week, and they'll move up to 3.
Who Michigan got this weekend?
Actually, Michigan's 4 now, right?
So I think
Michigan
so.
plays.
They got the Big Ten championship against Iowa. Yeah.
I don't think Iowa's got enough. I don't think they got enough. So I like Michigan to stay in there. Bama plays Georgia. I think Bama will get put out this week.
For real?
I don't think they can. I don't think they can hang with Georgia. Georgia's defense is.
So who gonna be the
phenomenal.
fourth team?
I think Oklahoma State will win. Beat Baylor. Handle business this weekend.
Oklahoma State. Dang, that's crazy. Sheesh. So in terms of like betting, I know you do the sports betting and stuff like that. How did you get into that?
Really, just it was. On the weekends. I'm gonna watch almost every game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see some of every game. So it was just like, this is what I do. Like, this is what I'm gonna do. I mean, betting's becoming available now. Like, I've always been a gambler. Like, regardless of what the I guess you could say the scene was. Yeah. So it was just like, now I can bet on the sports. Like, this is what I know. Like, I know who's gonna win this game. I'm gonna bet on it. Like, it just makes sense. So just from there, you made a little money, and I was like, okay, like, yeah, let me tune more in with this. Like, let me really pay attention. Yeah.
I feel that. So in terms of betting, what do you bet, like the spread? Do you bet the like win loss, the over under? How does that work? And what do you prefer to do? I know they got like parlays too, where you can put a whole bunch of stuff in there, and live betting. Like what works for you?
So for me, I would say my most profitable bet is our money line parlays. So
and what's that?
Basically a ticket with 2 or more teams on it, but just to win. There's no spread. There's no points involved.
Oh yeah, that's sweet.
I'm just picking a winner. But it's you can't pick, let's say, Alabama to win the odds are just so high you're
not gonna make no money off the ticket. Yeah.
So you got to pick, I guess, reasonable games. But moneyline parlays, I feel like, are the way to go.
Okay, cool. So in terms of researching teams, like when you think like there's somebody's an underdog that's not really an underdog, how do you go about like doing that research? Do you like, look on Twitter, see the injury report? Do you look on like Google and see like, or watch their games and see how they've been performing? Like what works for you?
So, like I said, for one, I'm watching the games anyway, so I have a pretty good idea of the teams, what they have, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, just like start of the week, I'm locked in. I'm in school. I'm taking notes. I'm listening to podcasts throughout the week. So I gotta, when time comes to bet, which I'm betting throughout the week, but I'm more so college football and NFL football are my things. Obviously NFL football.
Yeah.
But so throughout the week, I'll take my notes and stuff. I'll go from I kind of take maybe an analytical approach about some stuff, but at the end of the day, it's like I know who's on the team, I know who's out. Like I'm taking everything into account, and from there, I'm just forming my best few teams. I want my parlay to be very, very small because more teams on there, the higher chance to lose. So for me, I want a solid 4 or 5 pick money line team. Put a good little amount of money on that, and
Interesting.
go from there.
Yeah. So do you prefer to bet on college football or NFL football?
I prefer to watch college football because it's I feel like it's just the best thing in the world to watch. But betting wise, NFL because it's less. I guess you can say
It's more probable.
it's kind of like college football. It's like you
Anything
don't know,
can happen.
Anything can happen. You don't
Yeah.
know like what's going on. People any given Saturday. We'll say that like the same thing with NFL, but it's more predictable. The best team in the NFL probably won't lose to the worst team. College football, you never know. I mean, it's kind of the same, but it's just it's crazy.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So what is a spread and what is a money line and then what is over under?
okay, so a spread is basically Vegas or the sports betting making the game even. So obviously, you have two teams. One team is most likely going to be better. Let's say NFL wise, as of today, the Green Bay Packers are a better football team than the Detroit Lions. So obviously, you can't just come out and say who's going to win the game. The Packers are on line. Yes, if I want to win any type of money, obviously the Packers are going to
Yeah.
win. So to make it even, they add a point spread saying this team is, let's say, 7, 8, or 9 points better or worse than this team.
Okay.
So once you add that into account, now it's an even bet. Now you pick your team.
Okay, got you. So say, like you said, the Green Bay Packers are playing the Lions, and the Green Bay Packers are, so because the Green Bay Packers are a better team than the Lions, they'll be minus like 14, right?
Minus about 2 scores. Yeah.
Minus 14. So that the minus means that they're more likely to win. Like they're they're, what do you call it? Not the underdog,
dog.
but yeah, exactly. And then the underdogs would be plus 14. So how does that work in terms of paying out? Like how does Vegas, they pay out like for every 100 you bet, you make a certain amount or something?
Kinda, it's like for every 100 you make like 90, something like that.
Okay.
So
if you're plus 14 and if the Lions are plus 14 and you bet on the Lions to beat Green Bay and you bet $100, how much do you think you'll make?
If the Lions were to cover the spread,
if the Lions were to cover the spread,
$100 make about $90.
Okay, cool. That's smooth. And then in terms of like the minus 100, minus 200, like what's that? Like how does that work?
So basically what that's saying is minus 200. If you were to bet $100, you'd make $50.
Like I bet on what was that game? Maryland versus Iowa. Man, that game was sweet because Maryland was like a pretty close. Like on paper, it seemed like Maryland was a pretty close competitor with Iowa. So it was like plus 100 or plus 200 in favor of Iowa. So minus 200. So I think I had bet on Iowa, and then I bet 100, and I made. I can't even remember. I made less. So if you do plus, you'll make more money. You wanna bet the plus money wise, right?
Money wise, you want to get a plus if you can, but the plus obviously means the odds for you to win that are lower.
Okay.
So let's say it's plus 300. If you bet $100, you win 300.
300, dang.
Each 100 that is plus, you win 100 for that. So if you bet $100, it's plus 200, you'll win 200. 300, 400, 500.
That's smooth. What's been your best play to date? Like your best bet to date, where like you just was like you knew exactly what happened, and Vegas felt otherwise. So
this season, Texas A&M, Alabama. I took an in-game live bet with Texas A&M. So Texas A&M was basically winning the whole game. They got down to the end of the game. Bama tied the game up. The odds were plus 1,200.
Dang.
I dropped a good amount of money on Texas A&M. Like I was up that week. I said I'm feeling good. I think Texas A&M is going to win this game.
Yeah.
Obviously, Alabama tied the game back up. The world thinks Alabama wins.
Yeah.
Alabama wins. So I'm like, all right, let's see. I took Texas A&M plus the 1,200 just to win. This is a money line bet, and they won the game.
That payout was
feeling pretty good since then.
That payout was pretty. So this week, what teams do you got? Like what's on your menu for this week? In terms of games,
tonight we got.
It's a game tonight.
We got
the
Dallas
Cowboys.
and, New Orleans at New Orleans. I don't see Dallas losing that game. It's an away game. I don't really like going against home teams, especially like it's not my thing. Home field advantage is a real thing. So I mean, I don't like it, but I love Dallas in this matchup. New Orleans doesn't really have a quarterback. This is Taysom Hill's first game back. I don't think he's that great of a quarterback anyway. So Dallas is getting their players back. They have both receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper will be back for the night. Both running backs. I just think it'll be hard to slow that down tonight.
Yeah. And in terms of like college football for the weekend, what teams do you got kind of in mind for college football?
College, man, it's crazy.
Who's playing this week for
championship games?
Yeah.
You got your Georgia, Bama, Houston, Cincinnati.
So you got Cincinnati over Houston. You got Georgia over Bama. You got Michigan over Iowa. Who else is in it?
I do. But the spreads will come into play. Money line, yes, I like the favorites this week. But but once you kind of get your list down, you can't. It's hard. Somebody's gonna lose. One favorite's usually gonna lose. So it's like you got this list just looks beautiful. It's like I can't lose this bet. One of those teams is gonna lose.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's when I guess your spreads could come into play. Like they're not gonna win the game, but I highly doubt they lose by this many points.
Okay, interesting.
So, with the Iowa, I'm actually not Iowa, but Houston maybe Cincinnati's not been covering spreads too well this season. So I mean, I think they're picking it up now, but I don't know. Houston may be able to keep it within 10 points.
Interesting. So what about Pac-12? Who's in the Pac-12 championship?
Oregon, Utah, a rematch of a game from 2 weeks ago.
And what was the score of that jump? For real?
Yeah, Utah maybe beat them by at least 30, 40 points. Yeah,
that's crazy. What other conferences are there? There's Big 12. Who's playing in the Big 12? Oklahoma State and who else?
Baylor.
Oh, okay. Baylor's good this year?
Baylor's they're pretty good. Damn. Pretty good team.
That's crazy. What about MAC? Who you got for the MAC?
I think I'm gonna have to go with Kent State.
Kent State. Who are they playing?
Yeah, Northern Illinois.
And then Mountain West to finish it off. Who's in the Mountain West, Joan? Maybe Utah State. Are they good this year? Oh, San Diego State is really good this year.
San Diego State and maybe Nevada. I'm not sure. No. I'm not sure. It
might be Utah.
I gotta check on it.
I got San Diego State though. Them boys is hot, so I got Taj winning that jump. So that's interesting. Yeah. Well, man, we gonna see what these bets hitting on. I'm gonna put wrong right on every one of these jumps. So we gonna see. We gonna see what hits. But thank you for being on the podcast. We definitely gonna tap in with you soon with the sports bets more often. We gonna see if we can make the people that listen some money. And
man, come on, man.
We'll definitely tap in soon. Lolo's bets coming soon, man.
You know what it is, man.
What final words you got for the people?
Man, I'll just tune into these games. It's nothing better on TV than football.
100%.
So
that's a bet. Well, thank you for being on the podcast, man. We'll catch you soon. Thank you for tuning in. Deuce.
The shit I make is timeless and I'm constantly reminded. From here on out, it's only pluses and it's never minus. Until they see me on their timeline, they never